Good morning, everybody. We're just waiting for another moment or two for folk to get online. You're very welcome to our webinar, our monthly webinar here in IMR. I'm delighted to have you all here online at this, what we believe is a momentous occasion actually for ourselves here in IMR, but more about that now in a moment. We're just looking at the numbers here as people log on, so we'll give them another moment or two before we start. I'm waiting for the crew here just to give me a nod. Okay. All right, folks. Well, listen, good morning. You're very welcome to Irish Manufacturing Research, our monthly webinar. This is a very special occasion here this morning, actually. We're looking at this being our 5th year of operation. We've gone through our first 5 years of funding from Enterprise Ireland, and in fact this year was a very special year for us because we had a major review, an international panel review, in terms of how we've been performing here in Irish Manufacturing Research, but more about that later. This morning is a different type of a webinar. It's a 360-degree virtual tour of IMR. You are part of our experiment this morning, and it's an important experiment because we wish to use this technology to help teach and educate. And what we're trying to do is to create a much bigger immersive experience for yourselves working with us here in IMR. So if we're running training programs, for instance, that you will get the opportunity to go and get a 360-degree or much more immersive feeling in the work that we do here. If you are working this morning and listening to us on your mobile phone, for instance, or you're looking at us on a laptop, or you're looking at us even better again on your virtual reality headsets, we would like you to get back in touch with us afterwards and let us know how you felt the experience was. So if you're using it on your mobile phones, I'd suggest if you hold up your mobile phone and start to move the mobile phone around, you'll be able to see 360 degree here within this particular environment. During the course of the presentation, I'll be walking through the different rooms, and I'd invite you then to use your camera and move it around, and you'll be able to see the different parts of the building. Or if you want to scroll on your screen, it'll have the same effect. Or better again, if you have a headset on, look around the room, look behind you, look forward, and you'll get to see a little bit about the building. So as you see the way I walk around here, you're able to get a sense of the building and where I am positioned within the building. So move your phone and you should be able to catch up and pick me up here on the other side of the room. This particular webinar this morning, because it's an experiment, staff took a vote on which member of staff, if it's a case that this webinar was to go down and not be successful, would have the least impact to our member companies, and it was a unanimous vote. They voted that I'm the one who should talk this morning. So, and it was an awful thing for them to do. But however, it is a genuine privilege for me to be able to talk to you here this morning. It's something I haven't done in quite a while. Just to reflect a little bit on the work that we've been doing here in IMR for the last 5 years. The International Panel Review came back and they did an independent review of the performance of IMR and of the work we have done and the impact that it's made to you as companies. So we have, over the last number of years, had a significant impact on the economy in Ireland. Currently over 50 million, that is expected to rise in 2023 to over 230 million from the work that we've done today. That is a significant impact to the Irish economy. We have seen turnover improve within companies that you have reported back to us. That's in the region of over 100 million. We have seen significant improvement in performance in terms of productivity and energy efficiency, and we've been told by ourselves about significant job growth and job retention as a result of the work that we've done here in IMR. And we are delighted to have been part of that journey and to have supported you over the last number of years. We're about to embark on the next 5 years, and as part of that, I'm going to show you around our facility this morning. So come on along here and follow me as we go in here into the next part of the building. We're in the foyer at the moment, so again, if you haven't been looking around, I'd say if you've just joined us, get your cameras and twist it around and you'll get to see the building here. And we're passing by our training rooms here on the left-hand side, and we will be running courses here during the course of the year. We are hoping to be able to use this technology to give it a much more immersive experience for yourselves. So your feedback today is really, really important for ourselves here. Just on my way going through the door here. We're also testing out some of the technology here within the building. As you know, we're a research centre, and as we merge with Industry 4.0, and as companies move along that technological change, we're testing to make sure that the infrastructure here within our building is capable of handling large volumes of data. So today's experiment, and we're walking around this building by streaming 360-degree camera feed up into our Wi-Fi systems. We're testing to see how robust the whole platform is. So I'd ask you to bear with us today if it's a case that this system doesn't work quite as expected, but your feedback is going to be very important for us. Okay, before we go in here, I just had to put on our glasses here, safety glasses going into the lab environment, and I'd welcome you now in to have a look at our 3 halls that we are developing out today. So hall number 1 here is currently our robotics area. The robotics area is this line that we have here behind us, our PIP line, is got a series of robots working side by side with 3D printing systems. If you notice these 3D printing systems down here, if you follow me just a little bit, you'll see the yellow box down there at the end is a 3D printer, small 3D printer. That system was designed for a human being to work on and to press with a button and physically lift up the lid. And what we did was to get collaborative robots like these robots that here in the building to work side by side to human beings. So we wanted to try and see, could we get the robot to interface with this system that was actually designed for a human being to interface with. And we're getting all these robots to talk to one another so that the robot can pick up material from one bench and move it to another bench, and that the robot on that other bench will be waiting for that particular product to arrive in and would know what it needs to do with that. Above that, what you can see is the digital layers that we've put in with our various partners and solution providers that are bringing new things to the market. They come in here and they test this infrastructure layered upon this here to see, can they help us improve and help companies to transition and go on the Industry 4.0 journey. So if you take a moment there, and if you haven't had a chance to look around, I'd invite you then to take your camera and move it around here, and you'll get a sense of this particular hall. Now we might move in to our 3D printing area. So if you'd like to follow me just across into the room here over to the left hand side of the building. So we're now in our 3D printing area, and you're very welcome into this particular hall here. I know some of you will have already worked with us in this whole these emerging technological areas, and if you haven't been working with us, then I'd invite you to get in touch through info@imr.ie to learn a little bit more about it. But over the last number of years, we've worked with companies. We've helped them understand how these types of technologies. We've demystified the technologies for them. We've helped de-risk these technologies for them, and we've helped deliver real products that are now going to market with our member companies. Let me just show you an example of a few things here. For instance, this particular product here, we're working with a company in the west of Ireland who are developing new ways to produce this prosthetic part for people who may have lost a limb. The fantastic thing we've discovered in this, that not only can we get it right first time by scanning a joint and able to print a part like this and make it very comfortable for the patient or the client, we're also with these technologies able to make significant productivity improvements for the companies. And so we're really excited about this particular research project and where it's going. We do all kinds of wonderful things, like we've been working with some partners over here. If you look at this particular product here, and I might just come across and show it up to you there, is a spinal implant that we designed with our partners in the US and our partners in the UK. And we've designed this feature, this spinal implant that goes into the back of the spine with our design teams, and we've produced and manufactured this here. So we can take concepts and ideas and work with yourselves and solve significant problems. There's just two from the medical device side of things. We can also do it for some of the classical industries here, where if you're in the plastics industry, we've designed and solved some significant challenges then that this industry has faced in terms of improving productivity within the manufacturing line using 3D printing technology. The type of technologies we have here are plastic technologies and metal technologies. We use liquid resin beds and we use powder beds to produce the parts. So if you move the camera around here and you just look, you'll see the system that we have down here in the corner. Behind the yellow tube there, that's a liquid resin bed system that we're working with some of our partners, and that allows us to print all kinds of very interesting stuff. In fact, if you hang on a second, I'll just grab the part over here. Just over here, this part here. By way of example, Adidas are using this technology. This is one of their shoes here, and they're now printing the soles of their shoe using that particular type of liquid resin bed technology. Behind me in here, we've got large-scale powder bed systems, and they are used for printing solid parts. Something just this entire system, like these parts here, that you might sit in one go out of the 3D printer. So you can see you can do very clever things with this. Okay, follow me over here, and we'll go into our next hall. So we're passing through our, as I say, the robotics hall. This robotics hall, by the way, is going to be moved over the next short while. We're going to be moving it into hall 2, our middle hall here, and we're freeing up space here for more 3D printing technology. And we're looking forward to get going on that now in Q2 of next year. That's our plan. You're now coming into our middle hall. This was an old cigarette factory, by the way, and if we just stop here for a moment, I'll just show you a couple of things about here. This particular building is an old building. It was a cigarette factory, and the new owners of the facility, who we've taken the building over from, wanted to put technology in here that would save lives and change lives for the better. And so we're very proud to be in here and to be doing that with the work that we're doing. But we've kept some of the old features here, and if you look around here behind me, and if you haven't seen it when you come down, I'll show it to you the next time you're down here in the building. Even these old doors that we have here, very old technology. This is a fire door, and up here there are two metal plates with solder in them that hold a heavy weight onto the door. In the event of a fire, the solder plates split, the weight falls off here, and this door rolls closed. So we've kept a few of these interesting little quirky features in the building to kind of merge the olds with the new as we transition yourselves as manufacturing firms and support you in your journey around Industry 4.0. We're going to move over here now towards our 5-axis CNC system. This is a very interesting capability that we have here within the organization, and again, if you're a machining company or interested in machining parts, our invitation to yourselves will be that you might get involved with the kind of work that we're doing here. This particular system is particularly unique in that it's classed as being one of the best, if not the best in the world, in terms of machining parts to very high accuracies, on very hard materials such as titanium. So the invitation would be, again, to come along, get involved with the work that we're doing here, trial out the systems, and we will help you solve problems that you might have. We also work with other partners who supply component parts into these systems, and they will help you drive efficiencies. And I know it's key within your own organizations, if you're trying to drive efficiency and trying to drive productivity improvements, and you're looking for breakthroughs to do that, then the work we do here in IMR, we're set up to try and help you do that. Our next phase of our journey, it's very exciting. We are looking for some significant government funding, which we're hoping we will get good news on this time next week. We've been very successful in terms of winning a number of European projects. We got announced, and you'll see going out in the press over the next week or so, ourselves here within IMR. We're delighted to have partners now in Europe wanting to research with us, and it's very exciting stuff coming in 2020. The 4 thematic areas that we're going to be working on, we're going to be working on design for manufacturing. That's our 3D printing area and anything to do with the design of manufacturing lines and processes. We're working in the area of advanced automation, and that's looking at the whole area of robotics in particular, and you've just seen the robotics line there a moment ago. We're also looking in the area of digitization, and I talked to you there about the robotics line a few moments ago and the IT and the digital infrastructure that we're putting above all those systems and infrastructure, and we're looking at ways to bring in cost-effective solutions for yourselves, platforms that will enable you to go on the Industry 4.0 journey. I'm delighted to report that we have some very interesting platform development that has taken place at a very low cost and a very low threshold for yourselves to get involved with as companies. So again, I invite you to get involved with us in that regard. And finally, and by no means least, we're in the whole area of sustainable manufacturing. And this is critical. We know about climate change, and all of us as manufacturers have a responsibility to the climate, and that we must drive significant improvement in the whole area of sustainable manufacturing. So we have very interesting research projects going on now, started working in Europe and also within the island of Ireland, looking at the whole circular economy, sustainable platforms. And I would invite you as companies to get involved, learn more about what it is that we are doing here, so that we can help you solve the problems and the challenges that you face as manufacturers. So, we're in the last couple of minutes of this particular webinar. I would just like to summarize in saying to you that it's been my privilege and pleasure to have led this fantastic group of team that we have here within IMR. We've over 60 researchers now on board. We started from humble beginnings 5 years ago with only 2 employees in a small little office. We now today have got over 35,000 square foot of research and development space, pilot line and testbed capability. We've collaborative work areas for yourselves as companies to come down and work with us, which you're going to see very soon. That whole building works are going on in the hall right behind me over there, or right behind you over there. And we have a significant roadmap of activity coming up for the next 5 years that we very much look forward to working with you and helping you solve the challenges that you face as manufacturers. If there are topical areas that you feel are important, that you need help on, and that you'd like to get advice from ourselves here, our research team are always available to help you to solve those problems. So come along, meet our people, our 60 fantastic researchers, come along, use our pilot lines, our test beds and our facilities, join us on this journey together in our large-scale network of companies that are working in this organization. We look forward to seeing you over the coming 5 years on the next phase of our journey. And on behalf of the team here in IMR, I would like to thank each and every one of you for the support that you've given us over the last number of years. I'd like to thank you for joining us on this journey and look forward to welcoming you on the next 5 years. So on behalf of us all here, I'd like to say goodbye. Thank you very much. A happy Christmas and a happy New Year to you all.